Hey everybody, my name is Kate Schroeder, and for those of you who don't know me, I am formally trained as a mental health clinical therapist, and I'm also the owner and CEO of a high-performance-based coaching program called The Right Type, which is all about maximizing your business, accelerating your results through working with your people and your teams. And I was on Facebook Live on Tuesday talking a little bit about this idea of all this new remote work and autonomy versus accountability for team members and all that sort of thing. And unfortunately, I believe that my audio was turned off for most of that video. So I'm going to touch on that a little bit today. But today is also really about the opportunity for you to come on and ask questions and, kind of share with me anything you might have interest about or really just to get a chance to get to know me and chat a little bit more with me. So I am on my phone today because I'm having some work done in the house and I've got contractors here and I cannot promise that I won't get a knock on the door at some point, but we're going to do our best to get through this Facebook Live and go from there. So one of the things that I think is so absolutely important when we think about remote work is that, in many ways, even though this is, coming up on 3 months that we've been doing this, I do believe that we're all still in a transition, so to speak, still trying to kind of find our footing. And as things are shifting and changing and, school is now out and summer's upon us, that we're all having to sort of reshuffle again the way that we do business, the way that we function, and I'm just trying to see here if I can pull up comments just in case I got folks joining me on this one. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what I said the other day because, like I said, the video didn't seem to record the audio. And I want to talk about this idea of accountability and autonomy. And so one of the things that I am commonly hearing in the folks that I speak with is this idea how managing remote teams has really required us to shift, right? Some of the issues I think managers were struggling with and still are to some extent was this idea of how do I measure accountability of my team and my employees now that we're remote and we're not all in the office and who knows how long that's going to be. And so I wanted to speak to that a little bit because, one of the key things that plays a factor here in terms of work styles and management styles and so forth is personality type and who we are and the traits and characteristics that we have. And, because we're humans and we're dynamic, there is no one paper pencil assessment or tool that's going to capture all of who we are. But in my opinion, I work extensively with the Myers-Briggs type indicator and the Enneagram personality typology in my therapy practice, in my coaching practice, because to me, just about everything that we do in life starts with people. It starts with who you are. It starts with who you have around you. It starts with knowing first and foremost how you function, how you operate, your gifts, your strengths, the areas where there's room for growth. All of these things are so key when it comes to understanding yourself and working with other people. And so, one of the things that I am finding in both my therapy and coaching practice is that for a lot of folks, once they got through that initial hump, that initial transition into remote work, for a lot of people, and I find that more of the people I hear from are intuitives on the Myers-Briggs type indicator, that for a lot of these intuitive people, they are loving this remote work, and I'm hearing satisfaction growing. I'm hearing dissatisfaction decreasing. For an intuitive, this really fits their work style, that they work and they can take a little break, and then they work and they can take a little break. Very different work style than a lot of the traditional business paradigm is modeled after. And historically and traditionally, a lot of the work style and format and hours and such is based much more on a sensing styles of work and what they need to thrive and be successful. And it's wonderful for those folks who fit that role and have those personality types to be able to consistently show up at an office, work from 9 to 5, and go home. But not everybody works that way. And so for intuitives, They are loving this transition to remote work, and they're more creative, and they're happier, and they're excited. And here's the thing I'm hearing overall. Now, I haven't formally measured any of this, but anecdotally, I'm hearing that people feel far more productive working from home, at least the intuitive workers, than they do when they're in the office. Now, that's profound. By just this simple and necessary reshuffling of the work paradigm, people are exploding in terms of satisfaction, in terms of the productivity, in terms of what they're getting done, in their creativity and out-of-the-box kinds of thinking. And so, to me, that makes sense that that would be something that would be worth paying attention to. You know, for jobs that can be done remotely, and all that does is actually increase your employees' satisfaction, their engagement, and their productivity, well, it kind of feels like a no-brainer to me. I certainly understand there are some jobs and environments where perhaps that can't be done remotely. But what I'm finding, and what I think we're all finding, is that there is a lot more of work, a lot more around people's jobs that actually can be done from home. And it makes people happier and more productive. You know, so raising the bottom line starts with you. It starts with understanding you and the people around you in terms of what they need to be happy and productive. Because, you know, sometimes it's not enough to just make the money. I mean, certainly people are motivated by money. Otherwise, we wouldn't do the work we do, up in large part. But the engagement, the morale, you know, if companies want to raise their bottom line, then they need to look at those soft skillsy kinds of things, because that's what makes people happy and thrive. That's the secret. So raising the bottom line starts with you. It starts with you as a business owner. It starts with you as management. It starts with you as leadership. And for many people, you know, when you can find out who they are and how they tick, then you can shape your management style to fit their particular personality type. For example, again, I go back to the intuitives, because they've also often been marginalized in our workforce in terms of work environments and work formats. But intuitives need a very different management style. They thrive when they're given a lot of autonomy and resources that they can tap into when they get stuck or need some questions answered. But in general, they thrive. They're incredibly productive without the micromanaging and somebody always over their shoulder or asking them to plug into the computer and be online a certain number of hours a day. In fact, all that tends to do is shut down an intuitive's receptivity to work, their productivity. So intuitives need a lot of autonomy, and they need managers who can think out of the box, who are willing to rethink the way they do business, because autonomy and accountability can be measured and given in very different ways, and that's going to require us all to change the way we do business. So, for those of you who might be struggling right now with some aspect of the remote work or the virtual teaming, or perhaps you're in management or leadership and you find that you're really struggling, let's talk. You know, chances are in most cases the struggles can be sorted out by just a few simple tweaks, whether it's within styles, environments, etc. But in most cases, it doesn't take a large overhaul to really shift things and make the energy so much happier and productive in your business. So thanks a lot for watching. For those of you who are watching later, love to hear your thoughts about this. Drop me a comment below. Let me know how you're doing, what you agreed with, what you didn't agree. All perspectives are welcome here. So thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.